ladies and gentlemen, we are live now at the Red Dot Running Company in Singapore for the first roundup of the 7 missions. Today, Monday, we had the first mission. 10 kilometers was the requirement that runners had of all the teams who signed up for our virtual event today, or this year. And yeah, it's the first tryout, so hopefully everything goes fine for this live stream. The idea is that we have a bit of a chat with a couple of runners, including Hisashi Kitamura, who's already waiting for us in the back room. And we will also be talking to a special guest, and that will be a common feature this week. And that special guest will, of course, be Jeri Chua, who runs the Red Dot Running Company here in Singapore. Thank you very much for being here tonight. We haven't had much time to prepare, so I hope everything works fine also with the audio. We will be learning as we go this week, because the idea is that we will have this roundup show every evening around the same time, so 7:30 here in Malaysia, Singapore, Hong Kong. We also have a couple of runners in Europe and in Australia. Those in Australia, they might actually already be asleep, but they can also watch this show tomorrow morning at breakfast, because we will make an edited version of this live stream later on tonight. And that edited version will also have the latest results, because of course right now as we speak there's still quite a few runners out there running their first mission of the 7 missions, the 10 kilometers today. Hisashi has been waiting for quite a while, so I will bring him onto the screen already. Hello Hisashi.
Yeah. Hi.
Hi.
Yeah.
Okay. We just do it in selfie modus a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So the reason we brought you on here today, because today you have a fantastic run already.
Yeah.
Can you tell us a bit more? You did 10 kilometers in a blistering time.
Yeah. So I landed 10 kilometers in the morning time. So I started running there 10 km, but I found that my pace is too fast, because today is just the first day. So we need to run 7 days continuous. So actually, the time is quite okay, but I slow down in the middle because today is the first day. But in the middle, I found I slowed down too much. And my result is okay, but not like my personal best. So I really worry about Jeff Campbell overtake my time.
We haven't had any news about Jeff Campbell so far, but he did leave a message, right, on your Strava this afternoon, asking you to slow down a little bit. Actually, what was the time exactly? It was 34:02. Yeah, sorry, the iPad.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
34:02.
Yeah.
I'm trying to find the camera is okay. This looks better. So you were running in Seoul, right? Because you're based in Kuala Lumpur.
Yeah. Yes. So the course is just a 3.3 kilometer route. So I did the 3 routes. It's a kind of flat at the city area.
Okay. I'll try to bring on this loop here. So what we can see here from your file is that you run the first kilometer in 3:11.
yeah, I ran too fast. And later, so I slowed down, but I slowed down too much. So 8 kilometer, 9 kilometer is quite so slow.
Yeah, but 3:11 is incredibly fast. Is it close to your record, the 1K?
I never checked my 1K time trial, so I don't know. Maybe I can run 250 or something. Only for 1K.
Only for 1K.
Yeah.
Part of a very strong all-Japanese team, Uglo plus A. A stands for Asuka Hajima, right?
Yes, exactly.
Can you tell us a little bit about your team strategy for this week?
Okay, so my team strategy is we need to run the 7 days in continuous, but basically only the 3 result is submitted to the race control. So every day we take a rest 1 person. So today the 3 person run in good time, and 1 person is just jog to achieve the mission. So we just take time to save our energy.
Yeah. So Who today taking it easy?
So Yuta is today just a jog.
Okay. So tomorrow he will be flying on the 5K.
Yeah, tomorrow is his first day.
Yeah. We have not seen any news yet from Rie Sugaya. Have you received any update from her so far?
No, yeah, I think that now she's running in Singapore.
She was supposed to run this evening. Rie Sugaya is also one of the fastest women who registered for 7 missions. One of her competitors for the Cheetah Cup is also based in Singapore. That's from Belgium. And she ran 39 and a bit this afternoon.
Wow, 39.
The judge is on Yakov Kozlov. He ran 35.02 today. So that's roughly, it's exactly 1 minute more than you, basically. Then we had Nicolas Terrien. He did 37.10, also very fast, under 40 minutes. Pierre Vic Morales, who is also based in Malaysia, he ran 40.08. And these guys are also part of the same team, so that could be a challenging team for at least for the competition of the 7 missions. So that has been interesting so far. Hisashi, one quick question still about last year, 2020.
Okay.
You know at the beginning, you did 100 miles in your garage at home.
Yeah. Yes, it's on the UTMF day, yeah.
Afterwards, it has been, of course, very quiet, like for everybody else, and you're not so active on social media. So sometimes people are wondering what's going on with Hisashi Kitamura. So how have you been doing the last 6 months? You're really in very good shape still.
Yeah, so I kept training, but no races. So, but I had a good training. But I didn't have a race, so I didn't know that now my running ability is up or down, because last year I joined many races, so I could measure my ability. And definitely 2019 my skill is going up. But this year how? So, but end of the last year, so I joined the one virtual run, the KL marathon, the 42 kilometer. So I tried the event, so I ran. So full marathon in the virtual. At the time, so I ran in my PB. So even though my PB is 2019 in Tokyo Marathon, it's like a 9-degree condition. It's a very flat cold. But in Malaysia, I renewed my PB. So currently my running ability is quite okay. It's still going up. It's like 2019, 2020. Also for me, the big progress.
Okay, that's great to hear. Do you have any? Of course, we all wait and see what happens with the pandemic. But let's say that in the second semester of 2021, there will be some international events. Do you have any events in your mind that you say, okay, this will be my A goal this year?
So of course I'm going to join the 18 races. So and I will try to join the Echigo Country Trail in Japan. So that's going to be in June. So I hope I can go to Japan and I join the event.
Yeah, that's the event also directed by Yuta Matsuyama, your teammate in the 7 missions. Okay. All right, thank you much, Hisashi, for joining us this evening, and good luck for you and your team in the upcoming days of the missions. All right, thank you very much for joining us, Hisashi, and good luck.
Okay, thanks.
Okay. In the meantime, I take a look at some of the other results from today, because there have been, of course, quite a lot. The first team that actually completed the mission of today was a team from Indonesia. And it was quite extraordinary because, as you may know, in Jakarta and in other places in Indonesia, there are again many more restrictions now. It was the team, the legend master of BC runners, which is a very interesting name. So Feris Yulianto, Ahmad Tarwi, Rianto Hadi Saputro, and in the 4th position is Teguh Binturo. They were the first today to complete the mission early in the morning. Congratulations to them. Other finishes that we know, and these are still unofficial results. The official results will only be released later tonight after 10 p.m. when everything has been checked. There was also the team from Malaysia, I believe, that completed the mission. That was the BGJ team from Malaysia, and that consists of Ros, Delilah, and Putera. So 3 members of their team. They also completed the mission today. They were second, I believe, this morning. Of course, there have been many more teams, but we still need to go through everything. We still need to check all the data, and that we will be doing that later tonight after this live stream. And then the official results, they will be coming out late at night, or let's say tomorrow morning for breakfast. Okay, and then I think it's time to bring on our special guest for tonight, Jeri Chua. Welcome to the show.
Hi, Chris.
I think we will need to speak up a little bit because of the audience over there, so that's why I'm also speaking quite loud.
Got it.
How are you doing, Jeri?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
Not too bad, very busy of course now. First of all, thank you very much for hosting us today and also the coming week here at the Red Dot Running Company. It's been a long time that we have not seen each other actually. It's been a while.
Yes, it's been a while. I've been running for a long time now.
Yeah, so where have you been? What have you been doing? Of course you've been busy with the RDRC. But...
Yeah, we've been very busy with the business, but at the same time I've had just some health issues, so I've had to reduce stress as much as possible, which strangely enough includes not running.
Okay.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Yeah. So running was giving you stress?
Running too far was giving me
Okay.
stress.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, Jeri Chua is one of the pioneers of trail running and ultra running in Asia. Some of the younger people might have actually forgotten that already. But Jeri, can you explain to us a little bit about your background? Where do you come from exactly in sporting context?
Okay, I started in triathlon. I found very quickly that I liked the long distance events, so I started training for Ironman. And so my first Ironman was in an attempt to qualify for Kona, and that was also my first marathon. Yeah. So just put it all in together. So I qualified for Kona in my first Ironman, and my second Ironman was Kona. And I did a couple after that, but in between I went and studied and then worked in the UK. So I was there for about 12 years, and it was too cold to cycle and swim, so I started running instead. And a running club that I joined actually introduced me to trail and ultra running, and the rest is history, really.
Yeah. So you were running trails in Wales, or?
Actually, in the southwest in Cornwall.
Oh, Cornwall.
Yeah, so that's Plymouth and onwards where Land's End is. So they have beautiful coast paths, and you can run all along the coast from one side to the other.
Okay. And that inspired you then to bring the sport also to Singapore and to the rest of Asia?
Yes, so I actually relocated back to Singapore in 2010, and that's when 2009 was when I did my first ultra in the UK. So obviously I wanted to continue that, and I was looking for races, and at the time, that was 11 years ago now, there were very, very few ultra races, and the first one was, I think, the North Face 100. So that was my first 100K, and then the same year I did my first 100 miler to qualify for UTMB.
Okay. And you managed that as well?
And I managed that,
Yeah.
yes.
Okay. What kind of an impression did UTMB leave on you?
It was incredible. I fell in love with the mountains, and I remember getting to Chamonix and just looking at Mont Blanc and thought, I'm in such big trouble because Singapore is completely flat.
Yeah.
Well, we have a little bump here and there, but to train for that sort of an event in Singapore, I mean, you will see if you're here for any period of time that our local ultra runners in particular, to get enough vert or elevation, they really have to do quite a lot of hard work and put in a lot of time just on our little hill up and down.
Yeah. And that's what you did as well then, I presume, to train for UTMB here?
Yeah, absolutely. Non-stop up and down Bukit Timah Hill.
Oh my goodness. Okay, then let's move over to some of the other races in Asia where you left your footprint, such as the Vietnam Mountain Marathon. I think the first edition you were the race director, if I'm not mistaken.
No, I was a consultant for Vietnam Mountain Marathon. So a friend of mine was the race director, and he has an adventure racing background, but not in ultra running. So he asked for some help. I was actually the photographer for the first 2 years, so I was running around on a motorcycle as well, hiding in places, trying to take photos of people coming through.
Yeah. And that was still the 42K was the longest event?
Yeah. That was good fun in those years.
Yeah. Have you been back to Vietnam in recent years?
No, but David Lloyd's doing a really good job.
Yeah.
He's expanded the race so much, and they have a race series now, I believe. Is that right?
Yeah. So the Vietnam Mountain Marathon and the Vietnam Jungle Marathon have been part of Asia Trail Master for several years now.
Yeah.
And the Vietnam Trail Marathon might actually join also in the future. So,
Oh, excellent.
so that's the 3 races of David Lloyd. Yeah, he's
Yes.
been the race director and the designer as well of these races.
Yes.
So, but it's interesting to see that also in that race, Jeri Chua is basically the history of the event.
That's nice to know.
But there's other events like that, right? So I think also in Indonesia, you've been quite active in the early years of trail running.
Yeah, so I think I've done quite a few Asian races, but actually Southeast Asian races. But actually, to be honest, a lot of my racing has been in Europe. So the one of the key races that I did in Southeast Asia was H1 in the Philippines, which I was very happy to do and be able to complete.
Wow.
Yeah, so that's a 100-miler in the Philippines,
Yes.
and it's a little bit crazy.
Yeah, it's not part of ATM, but we know it's kind of a classic event, classic ultra in the Philippines, organized by Junal Mendoza.
That's right. Yeah.
And even Christian Jurgensen also sees it as a big target
Yeah.
whenever he can join. So.
Yeah.
Okay, Jeri, so you've been around for quite a while. How have you been seeing this development of the sport here in Southeast Asia or Asia in general?
I think before the pandemic, we saw a very big rise in the proliferation in the number of races that we have. And you can see, just on the Asia Trail Master circuit itself. When I first met you, Chris, and you had this idea of Asia Trail Master, and till now, your sport of choice. The countries that you've got races in, Kazakhstan, places that we would never have even dreamed initially to have an ultra race. I think it's absolutely amazing. With the travel restrictions for the pandemic now, it's kind of put a bit of a bump in the road for us. People who are local to events where there's mountains and there's trails, I think they're able to get out and they're able to do a lot of events, virtual events that are still keeping them active. In Singapore, we're being very creative. So, your 7 Missions is allowing us to try and increase the creativity, increase the people that we're reaching out to in this community. So it's exciting.
Yeah. Thank you very much. How long do you think it will take before trail running will get back to some kind of normal and people will be confident also to travel? Because of course now we're all waiting for the vaccination and the borders to open. But do you believe that some people will still be hesitant to travel abroad and the trail running industry might actually need a few years to get back into some kind of an international camaraderie?
With the trail runners, I'm not really worried in that sense. A lot of trail runners, we're very chill, right? But we're also very eager to be out and racing. And especially for Singaporeans, I think because of the lack of mountains and trail, because of the size of Singapore, we really are chomping at the bit to do something. Unfortunately, my personal opinion is that travel isn't going to resume for a long time yet, just because other countries, Singapore's ahead of course, but other countries are not keen to have foreign nationals coming in large numbers as well, and it's for everyone's safety. So I still see for the meantime that racing will be largely local. And unfortunately for those in Singapore, we're going to have to be a bit creative or spend a lot of money on staying in hotels.
Yeah, you might be right, exactly. So it will not be the same for citizens of every country, for sure,
That's right.
even when the borders relax a little bit more. Okay, let's talk a bit about Red Dot Running Company. It's a bit your baby now, I believe.
Yeah.
So just also again for the audience who may not be so well aware outside of Singapore of RDRC. So what is the whole idea? What is the concept of RDRC and where do you want to go?
Okay. So Red Dot Running Company, RDRC, was founded about 3 years ago. The main aim of the company and my personal goals as well were to create a community of outdoor enthusiasts. So not just with running, but any outdoor sports, endurance or speed or strength related, it doesn't matter. And the idea of creating a community means that when people come together and there's more interaction, ideas are shared, inspiration and motivation is encouraged. And so, you might be a cyclist, a road cyclist, and I might be a trail runner, completely different sports and terrains. But when we start talking to each other, we might find, that sounds really interesting. You've got an off-road event coming up, or you might want to try trail running to strengthen your legs, for example. And so this is what we try to start doing, build a community through socially interactive community events, and provide some niche quality product that we try. Everything is tried and tested by myself and my staff. So hand on heart, we can recommend everything that we have in the store.
Would you say that most of the people who come to your store are runners, or are there also many triathletes and cyclists?
Yeah, we have a lot of multi-sport athletes coming in. One of the strengths of Red Dot Running Company is that we focus a lot on sports nutrition, so that is applicable to anybody. We've got Unived, we've got Tailwind, we've got CrampFix, we've got a whole load of really great nutrition that's hard to find anywhere else.
Unived, of course, also one of our sponsors and is a Trainmaster. So it's also good to know for all the runners, so you can get Unived products here in Singapore at the Red Dot Running Company. Again, what's in the pipeline now for this year, given the pandemic? Because I'm sure it's also complicated or it has been very complicated for you in the past couple of months.
Absolutely. So we're in phase 3 now in Singapore, which means that we're just opening up. We are allowed to have groups of 8. So at the store, it's for us, we can see how much it's changed. There's not so much demand for the trail running packs and the trail shoes, for example, but we have a lot of new customers coming in who have just started running, who are looking for road running shoes and advice.
Are these people who now, because of the COVID-19 crisis, think that, okay, I need to get healthier?
Yep, absolutely. I mean, I think you've seen it everywhere, but on the park connectors, for example, it's never been so crowded as it was during the circuit breaker when we had lockdown. And a lot of these people are rediscovering a more healthy lifestyle, which is great. And what we feel that we're doing well is we're offering sensible advice to all these people who are starting, and things like shoes, for example, how to fuel, what they need to carry, how to train even, because we work with a lot of coaches and other partners.
It's been very wet here in the past couple of days, so weeks in Singapore. How long have you been open now again?
We've been open the whole time.
Okay.
Yes. Sorry, we've been open online when it was the circuit breaker, but we've been open since about June, I believe, July.
So what would you argue is like a golden tip that you can give to all the newbies in running and trail running?
Running in the rain, you mean?
Not necessarily in the rain, but just, you have many new people, as you said, coming into the shop now and then asking for advice. So what for you is like the golden tip?
I would say take it steady and go out no matter what. I mean, this is the tropics, right? You're not going to freeze in the rain. You know, everybody goes, oh, it's raining, I can't do this, I can't do that. But trail runners, you know, we're happily splashing through the mud, and that's when we're really the happiest, honestly. So, you know, all you new road runners out there, just get out and get wet. It's more fun than you expect.
Absolutely. All right. Thank you very much, Jeri, Chua, for joining us this evening. And again, thank you for hosting us. I'm sure maybe you will pass by again one of these evenings on the show, because we will have many guests. William is also here in front of me. We will also have Amy joining us on the show in the coming days, and many other guests here in Singapore. So thank you very much.
No worries, Chris.
What leaves me to do, because we're almost now at the half-hour point, is maybe have a quick roundup of what happened in the women's 7 Mission competition, because there have been some very fast women on the road here in Singapore and also elsewhere. The fastest time, as far as we know right now, is set by Vanya Knops, who also ran the 10K in less than 40 minutes. 39 minutes and 50 something seconds, if I'm not mistaken. I need to verify that. There have also been other fast runners. For example, in Sydney, in Australia, we had Kate Carty, and she ran also in 43:47, also very fast time. Carol Fuchs, who some of you might also remember from the Asia Trailmaster series, ran a fast 44-minute as well in Japan. She's been training very hard in the last couple of weeks. I think last week she was even the leader in the Club ATM Strava board in terms of distance, because she ran 2 marathons in the mountains back to back, Saturday, Sunday, in very cold and snowy conditions. So also a lot of strong women out on the roads already. We just mentioned also with Hisashi Kitamura, if he already knew anything about the Riesugai, who was a very fast runner. But so far I don't see any details yet. And I think that wraps it up nicely. We are at the half-hour point, and that's what we wanted to do. So the objective is that every day we will be back here at the Red Dot Running Company for a roundup session of about half an hour. We give you some updates on what's been going on during the day and what we can expect for tomorrow, and we will have one special guest. Thank you very much for watching. Tomorrow is a 5K run in the 7 Mission, so it's the shortest one of the whole week, but some people can also fly and make it a very fast one. Thank you very much for watching, and have a nice evening.